Hello everybody and welcome back to our brand new episode of our NASCAR 25 career mode. I hope you're all having a good day. I just scared one of the cats actually away doing my intro, so I don't know if that's because I have an annoying voice or what, but now I feel bad. But nonetheless, we are here to take on the most anticipated part of the entire regular season for myself as an Xfinity Series rookie. We come in P17 in the standings and we've got over 100 points to make up to Ryan Sieg, who currently holds the final spot in the playoffs. However, we have two back-to-back road course races coming your way today, and this is going to be an opportunity. We are in a midfield team with Sam Hunt Racing, but when we come to road courses, we know that this is an opportunity to be able to run up front, challenge the front runners to win this race. We know we are going to have a chance to pull things off. We have got a level 6, level 7 mixed car for both Chicago and as well Sonoma coming up in the next race, and I'm calling my shot. We are going to win one of these races today. I don't know if it's going to be both. I don't know if it's going to be, Chicago or Sonoma, but we're going to win one of them, and that's the main goal here. And of course, proving that you can win in a midfield team, even if it's a track you have an advantage on, is, a potential difference maker between staying in Xfinity for another season or maybe getting a Cup Series opportunity. I kind of look at 2013 Xfinity Series Kyle Larson, who was in a midfield car for the Turner Scott number 32, and he never won in the Xfinity Series. He was very close, specifically Bristol Motor Speedway with Kyle Busch, but it was him getting more out of a midfield car that got him a ride with Chip Ganassi Racing for the 2014 season to drive the number 42. And I feel like our arc right here is kind of similar, that we're trying to say, hey, you know what, we can get some really good performances. We've scored some top 10s when our teammates haven't in the Sam Hunt Racing team, and if we can win here this weekend or as well in Sonoma, I think we're going to kind of tip the iceberg. That made no sense, but you get what I'm trying to say. It's going to be the opportunity that we need to, I think, be able to look towards the Cup Series going in next season as we exit the final turn down the front straightaway here from Chicago Street Course. Now, my first ever street race as a NASCAR driver. We go P2, and you could probably guess who's on pole position. We hit a 1:34.758. Connor Zilisch on pole position with a 34.512. We got Austin Hill Chastain right there with us on time, and then you got a bit of a gap to Sammy Smith and the rest of the field as we get ready to go racing here from the streets of Chicago. We have street course experience already. If you guys remember from the prologue to the career mode, we did of course do some street course racing in the NASCAR Canada Series, so this is not something that's foreign to me. It's going to be new for some other drivers who are a lot less experienced, but this is a great opportunity for us to run good. At the end of the day, we still don't have the best car, but I'm hopeful that our road course expertise can overcome that lack of advantage. Green flag is out, and finally, the moment we've been waiting for all season long, the two back-to-back road course races kicks off here from Chicago. Zilisch leads through turns number 1. Austin Hill to my left side. We got 3 laps in both the first and second stage here now, so you don't really have a big sample size in the first 2 stages, as we are going to be side by side with Hill. Leave him the room, and he is going to fight down the straightaway. He's actually going to take P2, so unfortunately, starting second, we dropped down to third. Surprisingly, JRM has opted to put Chastain in that number 9 over Shane Van Gisbergen for the 2 road courses that we have coming up. I think Chastain maybe just looking for a little bit more kind of knowledge before he goes Cup Series racing here tomorrow on Sunday, as well as, of course, going into Sonoma as we continue on behind the 21 of Austin Hill here, and really just settling in at this point now. I was kind of like, okay, this is a really treacherous track, obviously. You're getting right up against the walls. There's nothing else like it in NASCAR. This is the most unique race in the NASCAR calendar, in my personal opinion. It's a complete shame that we, of course, have lost the Chicago Street Course now. I thought this was a just fantastic racetrack now. It really is a challenging but very, very good production of racing type of circuit. So here we come through the right-hander coming up towards the penultimate corner, and we were settling in lap 2, same situation. I haven't really gone anywhere, and I was okay with that at this time. Now it's all really about the third stage. We're not looking for points. We're not going to point our way into the playoffs now. We are going to have to win, so I'm focused mainly on stage stage 3. So learning what I can, learning how far I can push the car into the corners and what I can get away with. That was kind of what I was doing in stage 1, and that's kind of my mindset going into stage 2. What can I get away with? So I know in stage 3 where I can set my limit and really get after it now as we start the final lap of the stage. And Connor Zilisch not really driving away now as we come through turns 1, getting really close to the wall there, but to the final moments of the stage, and you can see that we have closed in a bit on the 21 of Austin Hill. Zilisch still with a comfortable margin, Chastain just behind, so it seems like there's 4 cars that have pretty competitive speed. Zilisch, Hill, myself, and Ross Chastain as we exit the final right-hander. Connor Zilisch gonna cruise to a stage 1 victory here. He has been winning a lot of stages recently, hasn't been winning races, but nonetheless he takes a stage 1 win. That's another additional playoff point to the number 88 season as we pick up 8 points. But like I said, I mean, stage points are the least of my concern at this point in the season. We are focused on winning, and if we can get this Sam Hunt Racing team just into the playoffs, that's going to be an absolutely huge deal here now, as we are going to stay out. We'll get ready to go racing here for this second middle stage now, and getting ready on this 3rd position here behind Zilisch in that number 88 here. We go for stage number 2 now. Beautiful skyline in the background there, and here we go. Green flag is back out. The second stage is underway here from the Chicago street course now, and look at this. Zilisch breaks early into turn 1, and Austin Hill flies around the outside. He takes the lead. Zilisch side by side with a teammate there of Chastain. I'm to the left side of the number 9. I had to check up for Zilisch as well. Wasn't really anticipating it. And now we come through turn number 2, and we'll be on the left side of this number 9. Do not want to lose a position here to Ross Chastain, but Austin Hill takes the lead, and he's going to try and run away as quick as he can now as we just about clear. There we do clear the 9 into the double right-hander. So we take over once again 3rd position there. Chastain goes wide behind us. He's now under pressure from another Junior Motorsports car there, the number 8 of Sammy Smith. Now Hill, Zilisch, myself at 1, 2, 3 here now as we are already, I mean, having a career day here from Chicago. But obviously I am seeking one thing, and that is a victory now as we are right on the back of that 88 of Zilisch now. And Zilisch, I mean, seems to be a little bit vulnerable to start this second stage after giving up the lead. I mean, we are right there with them, so I mean, this could be an opportunity for us. I mean, if we can get in front of the 88 before the final stage, I think that would be a huge opportunity for us to fight for a win, compared to if we, say, had to pass the 21 and then go still after Zilisch for the lead of this race. I would feel a lot less confident, but with Zilisch now losing the lead, I feel way more confident about my opportunities here before this race comes to a conclusion now as we come to lap 2 of 3 in the second stage here. And look at the run on the 88 of Connor Zilisch, right on his back bumper, but not close enough to get alongside, so we're not going to make a move here into the double right-hander. It's just such a narrow piece of racetrack unless you're absolutely desperate or have a massive advantage, which we have neither, so we aren't going to make a move right there. As this next corner right here, turn 6, the left-hander, that's a good opportunity to make some moves here, and if we can stay close to this 88, we might have an opportunity to make the move, but he's driving away. I'm going to show the nose. We're going to go for it up the inside here of the 88 into turn number 6 now, right against the wall. Zilisch goes back around the outside. He maintains P2 to the final lap now through the double right-hander again, and we're still once again glued to the back of the 88 here. And look at this, a nice exit right here down the straightaway. Could we maybe go for another opportunity in turn 6? I'm trying to learn where I can and where I cannot make moves, and now I'm going to stay put because I knew it didn't work. So we're going to go through the kind of left-hand sweeper in towards the penultimate corner where we really close in once again on the back of the 88. I got the 9 of Chastain right behind me. Great run, and now here we go with a chance to maybe catch Zilisch off guard into the final turn. He leaves the door open. Up the inside we go through the final turn, clear of Connor Zilisch. Austin Hill takes stage 2, and we're going to take P2 here in stage 2, setting us up for a potential front row restart going into this final stage where we continue to find some serious pace here as we continue going into stage 3. We are going to be pitting for tires as well as fuel, and hopefully we can maybe get the lead in the pits. That would be a big deal. I don't know if that might be setting our expectations a little bit too high, but nonetheless, no adjustments coming. As you can imagine, very happy with the handling of the car currently. we actually take the lead. We got the lead. The pit crew, Sam Hunt Racing crew, gets us the lead for the final stage, which is underway. 7 laps in, 13 laps total, and Austin Hill actually he outbrakes me into turn 1. We get a little bit aggressive, bit of contact. Zilish has lost another spot to Chastain. That's a big deal for us right there as we go through turn 2 side by side with the 21, and Austin Hill, myself leaning on each other right there, and now we're wheel to wheel down the straightaway. Unfortunately, he's going to clear us. You see the just outright speed advantage that an RCR car has over a Sam Hunt Racing Toyota Supra right now as we come through the double right-handers, and now I back it down a little bit. I'm like, okay, we lost the lead. Let's settle in. We've got plenty of time, and let's just continue to kind of hound this 21, stay with him, learn what we can, maybe try to catch him off guard with a move or two, and really see where we can start to make some headway. And I really want to just pass him and drive away, but I just don't think we've got a car capable of driving away, to be honest. But look at the run we got on the exit of 6, up the elevation, down the hill. Such a unique braking zone as well, because you're going up over a crest, and then you of course are downhill braking. That is not easy to do in any stock car now. As we come through to lap 8, a little bit wide in turn 1, but we're all good there. Just about got a tank slapper with the right rear on the outside wall, but nonetheless we are continuing to hound the back of this Bennett Camaro for Richard Childress Racing's Austin Hill. We get right to his back bumper, but again, you can see where he has the advantage, and that's just the straight line speed overall. As we continue to kind of settle in, a bit loose there into the start of the long bend, and we at least save it now, but we lose a little bit of ground, and we've got Chastain still keeping us very honest. Big mistake right there. We pulled a Hocevar as we hit the inside wall, and now we're making big time mistakes, and the gap to the number 21 grows, and we even lose out to the 9 of Chastain. Is at the moment right there where we potentially throw the potential to win this race for the first time in our Xfinity career away. Big mistake now, and we pay the consequence. Down to P3. We've got some work to do if we're going to get ourselves back into a position to potentially win this race. Very, very disappointed in that right there. That's all on me, of course, and I mean, yeah, just not good. So as we come through now turn 2, we're still right on the back of the 9. We're coming to 4 to go. We've got damage on the left side of the car specifically. Even after hitting the right front, didn't really damage the car. And as we come through now to the end of lap 9, we are really trying to catch this 9 off, but I just can't do it. So now as we come through to 4 laps to go, I know it's now or never. If I'm going to have a chance to win, we still got speed in the car. We can still get to that 21. I think we're faster than him. So we got to find a way to get around Chastain. Here we go out of turn 1, side by side here into turn 2. I don't know if this is really going to be a perfect spot to make the overtake happen. Sure enough, it's not going to happen. Chastain stays ahead, but this is not over. We need to make this pass, and we need to make it quick because we're coming to just the 3 last laps of this race. Now through the penultimate corner, Zilish just behind. He just hasn't had the speed we expect since stage 2. Right on the back of the 9. There's not any opportunity better than this one. Up the inside, we've both been running down the 21. We sail it into the final turn. We clear the 9 and back up into P2, and only just over a second between myself and Austin Hill with 3 laps to go here from Chicago. Can we make it happen in the streets of Chicago now as we come through turn 1? Zilish behind us making a move on Chastain. That's going to pull both of them back. Chastain stays clear, and that gives me a bit of buffer room to now go after this 21 of Austin Hill. That was really perfect. Thank you, Connor Zilish. And as we come through now 0.8 of a second towards turn 6, that gap continues to come down, and we have been able to make up time in this 6th turn all race long. And look at the gap. You can see it how visually quickly it's closing now right to the back of the 21, and it is once again game on as we approach 2 laps to go on this race. Now not close enough yet to make a move on this 21 right here, so I know it's going to have to come within these final 2 laps, but what's most important is we've got 2 laps to go, and we've got a chance to win our first ever Xfinity Series race. A bit of contact on the back of that 21 there, no big deal. We come to the stripe, 2 laps to go here from Chicago, and it's about to be an all-out scrap because you know Austin Hill does not go down without a fight here. Now as we exit turn 1, a way better run through the corner, but he covers the right side. We look to the left, near contact into turn 2. We got a little bit rough with the 21 earlier. We're going to get rough again, side by side. Bit of contact now down the straightaway, and we'll go through the bend where the 21 just has that straight line speed advantage, and we have to settle in behind him. Do we go for a dive bomb? No, we don't have the advantage that we need to really make that stick, so we're going to have to really look towards turn 6, I think, maybe turn 7. Turn 6 comes along, not quite close enough to make a move, but we get such a good exit. Here we go. This is the chance. We're going to cross him over there. supercar style. Shane Van Gisbergen up the inside into turn 7. Close quarters, contact, beating and banging with the 21. Now as we go into the right-hander, we've hit the wall. Big contact with Austin Hill, absolutely scrapping. Here comes Ross Chastain up the inside now as well. Hill gets through, Chastain gets through, and that's the nail in the coffin. Now Chastain checks up on our front bumper there. Didn't expect that one. We're still wheel to wheel with the number 9 on the exit of the penultimate corner. He's re-clear, and Austin Hill is free to run away, and it all came down to that moment right there. Maybe I was a little bit too impatient, too aggressive, and we've paid the price because now we've got to pass the 9 before we can even have a chance to run down the 21, and if we can't pass this 9 here, it's not going to happen. And as we come to turn 6 on the final lap, it's too little too late up the inside, and we're actually going to clear him, but we're just too far back, and a big slide of oversteer, and the 9's going to get back out in front of us, and we have to settle for 3rd, maybe 2nd if we can get this 9 before it's over. But what we know now is we are not going to win. We're going to come up short here, unfortunately, in Chicago, and I just got too aggressive, made a mistake, and I paid the price. I was racing for the win, and we were racing hard, and I was going to do whatever it took right there, and I think I showed it. And now we have to look at Sonoma and say, hey, what we learned right here is what we got to take into that road course now as we head down the short chute here towards the final corner. And Austin Hill, for the 2nd time this season, is going to go to victory lane on a track where I would not expect him to do it at. He wins the Chicago street course over Chastain and myself in P3 over Connor Zilisch, who has a pretty disappointing day in P4. It's a career best 3rd place effort for us, coming off of 4th in Atlanta. However, disappointed. I mean, we should have won, and we didn't. And yeah, I'm pretty frustrated about that. And it's really the only person to blame here is myself. We made $102,000 profit for the team. We took a bit of a beating on the car overall, but if we do finish 14th or better in Sonoma, we will get a new sponsor. It's actually 47. So I'm pretty confident we should be able to do that. And actually, in between Chicago and Sonoma, the team would invest quite a bit. We would buy some level 6 parts for the Sonoma car. Also, we would sell all the level 5 parts that we're not using anymore on that same chassis, or on that same body bay, I guess. And we do have a level 7, I think, suspension there, as we also are hiring some new employees to get more R&D points coming into the team so we can buy a little bit better parts going forward as well. Coming into Sonoma then. And yeah, I mean, Austin Hill actually had some words following Chicago. Yeah, he wasn't really pleased with how I raced him. He said, just these young kids that don't know any better. And he said, I'll handle it if I have to. And I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we are racing head-to-head again against Austin Hill this weekend. But I mean, we are in a midfield team with an opportunity to win an Xfinity Series race. And I mean, I was staring at victory. I was looking out my windshield and saw it was, you know, free, clean air ahead of me. I really pushed the limits, and unfortunately, like I said, you know, we overstepped that boundary a little bit. It's unfortunate, but we just kind of, you know, we got to move on and focus in here on Sonoma, where in qualifying, I immediately felt like I was setting a pretty competitive lap time. So I was hoping that we were going to, you know, repeat what we just did in Chicago and have a real opportunity to find ourselves up there in towards the top 5 at least. Now as we come into this final hairpin, get down to 2nd gear here as we exit the corner down the short straightaway here towards that curved bend, and with the sponsor goal of the top 15, of course top 14 for the 47 sponsorship, we're going to come through to the start finish line. And wow, okay, only P10. I thought that was a bare minimum top 5. We've got some work to do in this one, apparently, because, yeah, the pace isn't quite there. We were over 2nd off of Zilisch. Chastain, again, in the number 9 over Hill, and Smith and Creed. They're the top 5. So, work to be done. And we get ready to go green here from Sonoma Raceway. And it's going to be 5 laps in the first and opening stage here as we kick things off from this Sonoma Raceway out here in California. And we have got, I mean, I wouldn't say a target on our back, but we got an expectation at least to be up front and fighting for the win here after Chicago. And this is the race we have to win, obviously. I mean, I said we got to win a race today, and unfortunately it didn't quite work out in Chicago. And look at the run we get on the 19 of Almirola. Do I dare go 3 wide up the inside? The answer is absolutely. Into turn 4, caught the curb right there. You got to be really careful in that corner because the curb will just unsettle the heck out of your car as we go for another aggressive move. Get through pretty well as we're 3 wide with Almirola as well as Sam Mayer. We clear the 41 and we clear the 19. We'll take P7. Almirola tries to send it back up the inside, but I completely chomp his nose and say absolutely not. I am maintaining my track position. Lap 2 now, and up the inside now of Christian Eckes here in towards turn 5. I mean, I don't know what corner numbers are what, but I always consider that turn 5. That could be completely different from what the actual NASCAR track map says, as we are now up to P6. So our qualifying pace wasn't quite there, but I mean, in the race, we've already in just a few laps have moved up to P6, and look at this. We are running down the 00 of Sheldon Creed. After qualifying, I was a bit worried. I was like, maybe we're not even going to have a chance to win this race. But now, I mean, as we're making laps here, I am starting to gain some confidence that we might have the speed we need. Now, where I was lacking the most speed was right here. From this point on to the final hairpin, I was losing time. So what I noticed as the laps were going on, I had really good speed in basically the first bit of the racetrack, but then I hit that point going into the final hairpin, I was slower than the cars in front of me. So that's something we are going to have to work on. So the first half of the track, we got good speed. The last half, we don't. And I knew there was time to be gained. So that was one of the benefits that we do have currently is, although I'm slower in the final half, I do know I can find some time there. So now, here we go now. For on the final lap, a move on the inside of that 00 of Sheldon Creed here. Now one of the drivers in the bubble area for the playoffs now, and we'll pass him and clear him for P5. And next up, Sammy Smith. Obviously not enough time to run those guys down, so we're just going to have to settle on this final lap here in stage 1 for P5. Connor Zilish, again, that's like 4 consecutive races where he's at least won a stage, and we're going to come through to the start-finish for P5. So overall, a pretty solid start considering where we qualified, and now the confidence is coming back. I'm like, okay, I think we are actually going to be in the mix to win this race, and we got to make it count right here because there's only one more road course race in between this one and the playoffs, and that's at Watkins Glen. Some drivers are pitting, some drivers aren't. Chastain's in, Smith's in, Mayer's in. I don't know why, because we don't need to pit to make it to the end of the stage, but they have elected to pit. So we're going to get ready for stage 2, and it's even more confusing because we can't make it to the end of the overall race from this point either. So they're going to have to pit again at the end of stage 2. So they're basically trying to spend 6 laps here in stage 2 to just use fresh tires to their advantage, but that's just not going to work. That's a really silly strategy from Chastain and a few others. So of course it helps me because I move up to P3, and we're under pressure right here from Sheldon Creed, absolutely scrapping. He's nearly clear. We fight back around the outside, getting the left side of this car a little bit dirty there on the grass, bit of contact with the 00. Now we're wide in turn 4. We'll be wheel to wheel here, nearly into the barrier there. He did not leave me much racing room, but we are able to just get after it now, and we continue side by side with the 00 Haas factory team driver in the Ford Mustang of Sheldon Creed. We clear him for P3. There we go. We're settling into 3rd. Let's go after the Chicago Street Course winner of Austin Hill. Now we know what he said in the media. He wasn't impressed with how I raced him in Chicago, and I don't really care, to be honest with you guys. I mean, we are trying to make a name for ourselves. We're trying to become a NASCAR Cup Series driver, and we have set everything aside. All of the extracurricular racing that I want to do in my career, we've set aside to really focus in on the Xfinity Series and just the rest of the ladder up the, of course, ranks in NASCAR, from dirt racing to sports car racing, all those types of different forms of motorsport. Rally racing, something I want to venture off and do and prove what NASCAR drivers are capable of doing behind the wheel of other cars. Indianapolis, of course, we all dream of being in the Indy 500, and we have put all those dreams aside until we get to the Cup Series to say, hey, we are focused in, we deserve to be here in NASCAR and specifically in the Cup Series. Now, we of course do have a Supercars race coming up following this season, but that's because I'm mainly betting on myself getting a Cup Series ride as we continue to the back of this 21 of Austin Hill. And now that we've gotten into P3, it's not coming easy to us. We've kind of got ourselves stuck behind this 21 as we come to lap 4. Now we're approaching 2 laps to go in stage 2, and we've actually got a run on the 21. We're going to take it up the inside into the final hairpin. Super close quarters, bit of contact as well as we'll exit side by side. I know Austin Hill's not going to give this up easy. I mean, the way he was talking, this is not going to be an easy fight. We're still wheel to wheel as we cross the start finish. Connor Zilish, he's long gone as I keep it right there at the right rear. Now he's clear. Hold on, I'm going to lunge up the inside, up the elevation here through turns 1 and 2. Close quarters, and we lose the rear end. We slide, we save it, but we're off in the grass, and through goes the 00 of Creed. We drop back down to P4. We get back on track in front of Allgaier, and we'll settle into 4th, but just trying a little bit too hard, and I wasn't ready for the lack of grip there to the right side of the 21, and unfortunately we lose out. So to the final moments of the stage, Connor Zilish is going to sweep the first 2 stages, and unfortunately we are going to have to settle for 4th, but we know there's speed in this car. We just mainly have to get past this 21 car of Austin Hill, and I think we can do something with that 88 of Zilish. We cross the stripe. P4, my left front tire and the rears, they were absolutely just, I mean, on fire at this point here. Of course, doesn't help that I lit them up when I went sliding there alongside the 21 of Austin Hill. So nonetheless, cautions out. Look at the left front, 18%. It was down to all the tires are pretty destroyed, but we're going to pit for 4 tires and feel. And all those guys that pitted at the end of stage 1, they have to pit again. So they are coming back into the pits, and therefore we don't lose anything. We're still P4. I was afraid we'd come up behind them like Chastain and the other guys, Sammy Smith or whatever, but it doesn't happen. So we're still P4 for the 3rd and final stage, and now it's money time. I've got 9 laps to say, hey, this is our moment to shine as a NASCAR Xfinity Series driver. I want that first career win, and first of all, we got to get through this 00. Really good restart up the elevation, right to the back of the 21 of Hill, who's shutting the door, really. He's saying, you are not coming through there. Don't blame him now as we continue side by side with Creed. We'll re-clear him again. We'll settle back into P3. How quickly can we get past this 21 of Austin Hill? That's the big question as we go a little bit wide, right against the tire barrier there. Nearly made contact with it now as I'm going to go around the outside here potentially of the 21. Unfortunately, couldn't quite get the car to rotate, so we'll have to stay in P3. This is going to take a little bit of work here now to actually get past this 21, of course, and he's not going to make it easy. Like I said, I don't expect Austin Hill to make things easy, and the big goal is we got to pass him within, another lap or 2 as we hit lap 13 already, and we just cannot let Connor Zilish run away, because then there's going to be no going back. We're not going to be able to run him down, and we'll have to settle for a 2nd place effort again here and now as we are now looking up the inside. He left the door open. I'm going to take it here side by side. I'm not going to be as friendly as I was earlier though, but a contact kind of muscled him out through to P2. Sorry, Austin Hill, I gotta go as we now focus in on that WeatherTech number 88 for Junior Motorsports, and an absolute sloppy mess of a few corners right there, and that unfortunately brings the 21 right back to me and allows the 88 to run away. And again, I mean, I am just driving horrifically, and that has extended Zilish's gap by a few seconds at this point now as we approach just 7 laps to go here from Sonoma Raceway now, and we are going to have to find something if we're going to beat this 88 of Connor Zilish as we are 2.3 seconds back. We come to lap 14, and as we come through the S's at this point, once again, the back half of the track's where I'm losing all the time. Look at the gap now, 3.2 seconds, 3.3, going up to 3.4. I keep losing time in the back half of the track. We need to figure something out right now because we are not going to get there. And I decide right here in the final hairpin to absolutely send it and actually learn right here. I downshift to first gear, and the car gripped up like crazy, and I find a huge chunk of time. 2.4 seconds. We just cut a second out of Zilish's lead. So I just learned something right there that might bring us into the mix with 6 laps to go. And it was just kind of driving it in deeper and then shifting down to first, and it grips up. The gap goes unchanged throughout the rest of lap 15. Does go up a little bit, but comes back down 2.4 seconds. What did we just learn? Let's reapply it into this final hairpin. Send it down to first gear. It grips up again. Look at the gap down to 1.7, 1.6 seconds. We have found the meta, and we are running down this 88 quickly here. All of a sudden, what looked like Connor Zilish was going to be running away has turned into him under some serious pressure. 5 laps to go here from Sonoma, and the dream to be an Xfinity Series winner as a rookie is very much alive now as we continue to reel in the 2-time winner on the season. 1 road course win in Coda, 1 oval win for Zilish, and he's looking for another road win, but I am looking to take that away from him now as we have got him in our sights now as as we come to the hairpin once again. Now that I have gotten close to him, I am not driving as aggressive because I'm like, okay, now I'm in a position where I can settle in and reduce any chance of a mistake happening. Now we're just going to be smart and calculated here if we can be, and that's something I have struggled with, is being smart behind the wheel as a rookie in the Xfinity Series. But now we are right here on the 88. Zilish doesn't have the car that I've got at this point in the race. We have driven away from Austin Hill and the rest of the field from third on down, and now it's just me and Zilish here in the mix to win. The 88 has set an absolutely fantastic pace, but unfortunately for him, he's not the only one that's done it. We've done it as well right there with him. And now as we come to just 3 laps to go in this race, the chances to win continue to increase here. Now we're within about 3-4 car lengths of this WeatherTech Camaro now. The question is, where do we make the move? I mean, we haven't even had a chance to make a move yet now as we come through turn 4. And I mean, we're close, and here's maybe the chance. Now a run on the 88 up the inside. We're going to go show the nose. I'm trying to be respectful of this 88 of Zilish now, but a contact on his right rear. Contact, but we keep it straight. We keep it clean there for the most part. He remains out in front there. This is a driver we're probably going to be racing for a long time in the future in the Cup Series. So this is a driver that I want to continue to respect behind the wheel. But of course, I'm going to do whatever I can to beat him here in Sonoma. We're coming up on 2 laps to go, and this is about to be an absolute classic of a finish. I've got a feeling now, as again, a big run at the top of the hill and to the inside, but that's just not going to be an opportunistic moment for me. I don't want to hit that curb and completely kill our momentum, so we stay behind, close to that barrier once again, and here we go, showing the nose on Connor Zilish one more time, and a bit of contact right there, but we're all good. He stays ahead again, just not quite enough for me in it to actually pass his 88 now, as we are approaching just the final lap of racing, and we're once again right on the back of him now, as I'm trying to take a bit of a wider arc to do this, hook up the exit a little bit better on the hairpin, and as we head down the front straightaway, it's going to be white flag waving. Do we see it? Yes, we do. White flag in the air. 1 lap of racing to go. Who's it going to be? Connor Zilish or myself? Who wants to win more, I think, is really what it's going to come down to, but we still got to get to him first now, as it's all about making no mistakes. We've gained multiple car lengths already on this final lap now, within a few car lengths now as we come through to the top of the elevation, and now Zilish stretches it back out, but on the exit I bring it right back in, right to his back bumper, up the inside, gonna force the issue this time now. Near contact, we do make contact there on the left rear, sideways, that might have been it. Now we're gonna have to catch him off guard. I'm gonna send it up the inside. He leaves the door open, lean on his right rear, stays ahead. Zilish tries, hold on, he backs out of it. We're side by side into the S's for the final time. Re-clears me, does the 88. He heads into the S's. We are gonna have to absolutely nail the S's, as we have been weaker here all day long than the 88, but we need to be close enough to make a move into the final hairpin. As of now, we're not close enough. Through the final bend, we hook it up significantly better. There's the run we need. Look into the right side. Zilish doesn't even cover it off. Up the inside into the final turn. Could this be the moment now? Wheel to wheel through the hairpin. Contact on the exit of the corner, and Zilish not lifting. Neither am I, as we're going to be drag racing coming to the start finish. He runs into the side of us. Contact. We hang on. We are officially a NASCAR Xfinity Series winner. Unbelievable finish in Sonoma, and we've won our first race in dramatic fashion. I was not going to be told no in this one. The opportunity presented itself. I got super aggressive, but we didn't wreck anybody. We kept it clean as possible there on that final lap, and Zilish left the door wide open into the hairpin. At that point, you'd be a fool to not go for that opportunity, and I drove it off in there. I tried to not run into him, but on the exit of the corner, we just came together. But we are officially a NASCAR Xfinity Series winner. We knew today's episode was the opportunity we needed to win, and we capitalized, and we found a way to victory in the final turn on the final lap as we get out to celebrate our first win as an Xfinity Series driver, the first win for Sam Hunt Racing, and this is certainly going to turn heads. And yeah, I am very excited now for what the future is going to bring for us, and as well, I mean, maybe even a cup opportunity. So what a day, what an opportunity, and overall just super thankful that we were able to pull it off. And Connor Zilish might not be a fan of how aggressive I got there racing him at the end, but I mean, I had to do what I had to do, and I did exactly that. We made a huge profit for the team. Obviously, the team's happy, and guess what? We're locked into the playoffs. So that's another first step for Sam Hunt Racing. We got them their first win. We've gotten them their first playoff appearance as well. That's a big deal for this team, and overall, just super, super happy with how that race played out now. And yeah, we don't have to worry about the points for the rest of the season, for the rest of the regular season. We can now focus in on just trying to score, more playoff points. We do have another road course coming up later in the season, of course, with Watkins Glen, but there you see the points now. Ryan Sieg, unfortunately, the first one out, and Sam Mayer, he's the last one in, but there's such a huge difference between him and the next driver out on points that the only way someone's going to get into the playoffs now, other than Creed or Mayer, is by winning a race. So that's going to do it for me. We finally win. We got the new sponsor of 47, of course, after finishing 14th or better, so we'll have a new paint scheme on the car for Dover in the next episode, and I'll see you guys in that next episode. Thank you for watching. We finally got that win. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great day.